motor slash wheel combo. And I'm actually with the founder, Nico. He's kind of waiting back there, giving me a chance to review this thing. He's given me the overview, and I've had the chance to ride it a little bit, and I just wanted to talk about how it performs and give you the specs. So essentially what we're talking about is this motor slash controller slash battery. It's all built right in, along with the wheel, and it comes with 20-inch wheel, 26-inch wheel, or a 700C, which is almost that 29er style, which is what we're looking at here. This is the standard city setup. The motor itself is 250 watt planetary geared, but it's actually kind of a direct drive setup because it does offer a little bit of almost a regenerative engine braking when you pedal the bike backwards. Very unique. A lot of the geared motors that I test freewheel. So this one maybe has a little bit of cogging, like just a little bit of drag because it's a direct drive and you're actually pushing those gears. The thing about it is, at any time when you are pedaling, as long as the bike is activated, it's helping you, it's assisting you, and you can change everything about this. You can change the top speed that it assists you to, so it'll reach that speed, cut out. You can also change the percentage of assist that you're getting, so 70% up to like 100%. That's just going to give you more torque and more power, but of course use more battery. And the other really neat thing about this is that you can charge it right here from the wheel. So of course you get a little bit of energy back when you do this backwards brake thing that I'm talking about that I'll show later, but the best way is to just charge it like this, the most efficient, and it takes 2 to 3 hours. So anyway, the specs on this, 250 watt geared motor design. That means it's lighter weight, gives you a little bit more torque, and in this case we've got a 30 volt 6 amp hour battery pack, and the batteries they're distributed through the hub like this. They're kind of placed and balanced around 18650 cells. It's like the lithium ion technology that's going to last a long time, 1,000+ charge cycles. There's also your controller board that's mounted on one edge of this, so it's all contained and pretty well contained. I mean, it's a handsome design right here. The thing about it is, unless you're using like some sort of a quick release system, you basically ought to bring the bike inside if you want to charge it or have an extension cord. So that's one of the things. Some other electric bikes have like a removable battery pack. This one, it's all built right in there, but it's really light. I mean, this thing, they started out on Kickstarter and they had a much larger version, but then they've actually really refined it, and the Kickstarter campaign's gone a little bit long to get there, but this is only like about 5.5 pounds. The older one was going to be about 9 pounds, and it's really efficient. Depending on the settings that you use, this thing could go 25 to 35 miles because it relies on your pedaling. So it does use a torque sensing pedal assist system. There's nothing up here, no cadence sensing going on. It's all in the wheel. So when you push actively, it recognizes that, and then it starts to contribute. And as soon as you stop, it stops. It's smooth, it's efficient, and again, it extends your range because you've got to pedal along. The other thing you'll notice on this bike, there's a front brake right here, and that's because this isn't disc brake compatible. There's no disc brake hanging out on the wheel back here. Of course, you could have a separate brake, just like we've got up there, a V brake or rim brake or whatever. That's one of the question marks. Like, the way this works is you're using the motor as a brake, and that's really cool. I mean, I think it's efficient, and it charges the battery a little bit, but it does mean that if you're pulling the brake up there and you're pedaling, it's not communicating between the two. So the motor could still be pushing you forward, and then you're just wearing your brake out a little bit faster. So using this bike takes a bit of getting used to. I wanted to show the cogging thing. So you can see that as the wheel spins, it's pretty efficient, but there's just a little bit more resistance because it's directly connected to that rear axle. It's not freewheeling, and that's what gives you that backwards pedaling regen. So again, there's the app. We could take a look at that real quick with Nico. How's it going?
Good.
And he's going to give me a quick overview of the app. So yeah.
So FlyKly Smart Wheel also comes with an app. It's an app for iPhone and Android. Also, you can control it with a smartwatch from pedal. So there you go. It's an application. It has 4 sections. The first one is right, where you control your speed. You see how fast you're going, how the distance and time, and also you see the battery.
Right.
And then whenever you park it, you can just lock the wheel, and it's locked. And also, while you're riding, if you want, it's tracking where you are riding, and then you can also see your previous rides, where you were riding, how long, what the duration, and also how many carbon footprint points you saved while riding the bike instead of the car. So here you can see where on the map, and then we also have a social.
I did have a question for you. You mentioned setting the top speed on this.
So for example, if you set the top speed at 16 miles per hour, it's like a cruise control. So whenever you start pedaling, it will push you to 16 miles per hour. If you go above 16 miles per hour, the motor will turn off. You still can ride the bike above 16 miles. If you set your top speed at 10 miles per hour, then it happens the same. It helps you till 10 miles per hour. After the 10 miles per hour, you can just, you're on your own.
So the only time that this sort of like that regen feature happens is if you start pedaling backwards, and then it's like an engine brake. It slows you down. Okay, great.
If you want, we can show how the motor brake works. So it's like this. You start pedaling, you sit, and then stop it.
Oh, cool.
Well, one of the security features that we have is that you have to use your smartphone if you want to lock it and things like this. So because if you get stolen, then somebody has to connect it with the phone, and if there's somebody else connecting with the phone to your smart wheel, we get a notification, and you get a notification. So now we can start, we can find your bike.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, it basically stays locked. The motor won't move unless you unlock it with your smartphone. So this one's unlocked right now. And then once it's unlocked, you can ride around with it and everything, and then you get somewhere and you lock it. And basically it can't be moved very easily. Does that stay locked if the battery runs out? You know, at some point the battery might trickle down.
Yeah, but we have the system, the way it works, that it always keeps a little bit of battery.
Okay.
So it will not run out of battery.
Okay, so we've seen sort of what the app looks like. Unlocks the bike, it allows you to put the bike on lockdown and then control those speeds and control the power and all of that. Once you're ready to go, you pedal forward and the motor kicks on, and then you pedal backwards and the motor turns into a brake. So let's give it a go. Cool. You can probably hear it a little bit, just kind of this soft whining noise. Thanks, man. Awesome. It's kind of fun just how simple this is. Because the battery and everything is back here, it's a little bit rear heavy. But the fact that this thing is only like, you know, maybe 6 pounds with the wheel and everything makes this a super ultralight kit. So the interesting thing about this is when you're at 100% capacity on the battery, the backwards pedaling regen doesn't work so well because it's designed to avoid overcharging the batteries, right? So kind of keep that in mind. It's at full right now and I keep experiencing the regen pretty well, but you know, if you're going down a huge hill and you're pedaling backwards the whole way, the system's going to protect itself, and then, you know, regen basically isn't going to work because it's not going to be able to convert your mechanical downhill momentum energy into electricity because that would hurt the battery. So that's cool. The other cool thing about the motor is that because the batteries are built in, you can send this back to the company after several years or however long it takes for them to start to wear down, and they'll actually swap them out for you. And by then, you know, they might have another program where you can get a newer version and they'll recycle the batteries or something like that. But that's kind of cool because, again, it's all integrated into that rear hub. And the motor is pretty well protected from water as well because this is all pretty much one piece. There's just this plate that goes on and it's pretty tight. They've also got these nice covers. So if you were kind of rinsing this off or it was raining, it's designed to be pretty durable that way. But of course, you know, you don't want to take this thing swimming. Once you get the feel for it, no problem to operate this thing. And it does add quite a bit of power. The top speed is about 16 miles per hour. So that's kind of more of like a European standard, but that's pretty good. It doesn't hold you back once you get above 16 miles per hour. That's just sort of where the motor cuts out. You know, 250 watt motor, it's not like that highest high end, super strong, but because it uses torque sensing, it's pretty good climber and it's pretty efficient. So that's the FlyKly for the specs and full written review on this. I'll see you back at electricbikerreview.com.